So what's going on, everyone, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a pretty exciting video. Now the whole topic of today's video is about Easter eggs within Call of Duty Zombies, and there's actually a ton of Easter eggs that we've never found before. Now a few months ago, before Black Ops 3 came out, Jason Blundell done an interview with a website called Tech Insider, who posted a video on UKBusinessInsider.com where Jason Blundell explained about the creation of Easter eggs in the previous Call of Duty games, as well as the Easter eggs that he's put and is going to put in future Black Ops 3 DLC content. Now he shares in this video why the company even started putting so many Easter eggs in Zombies, as well as sharing some of the most ridiculous ones that Treyarch have created. And you may have seen this video before on some other channels. I know Glitching Queen posted this, and I didn't really see this as a big thing back in August of 2015. I saw this video probably the day it came out, or perhaps the second day it came out, but didn't really think too much of it. And then just before the release of Black Ops 3, there was a ton of hype going around about Easter eggs that will never be solvable, and we'll talk a lot more in detail about that, as well as something very, very awesome which is pretty big and no one has found yet. So let's throw it over to the man with the plan, Jason Blundell, the director of Zombies at Treyarch, and see what he has to say about Black Ops 3's Easter eggs.
I've been given the challenge of writing more convoluted Easter eggs to kind of bury into the game, and the community keeps on finding them and keeps on decoding them. So going into Black Ops 3, I'm fed up now, and you won't get this one. Absolutely.
Are you sitting comfortably? Then we shall begin.
In the Zombies mode of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, your job is to ultimately die. You can't survive. You can't win, and your job is to, as best as possible, survive as long as possible. And when we started, we didn't have any voices on the characters, but people were looking for these clues to try and find a story. The community essentially wrote the idea of Easter eggs, so then we reciprocated by then starting putting Easter eggs in. So I've been given the challenge of writing more convoluted Easter eggs to kind of bury into the game. And you know, it's no secret if I said there are still Easter eggs, even in World at War maps, that the community still haven't found yet. The one that jumps to my top of my head was we had a character in Mob of the Dead who was an aspiring comic book artist, and we had a front cover drawn by one of our artists, and then we had one of our actual art directors then critique it and put red line notes all over it. Then we cut it up into pieces and hid it around the map, where some bits you could only see if you had a sniper scope. And these guys, they can find it and put it back together in like less than a day. So then the next thing was like, okay, let me go and try and take some messages and encrypt them. And I used things like Caesar ciphers, and then I used like the Enigma code at one point, or spectral analysis, Morse code we've used in the past as well. I even had a point where there were certain messages hidden where you had to use an oscilloscope to actually be able to decode it and find out. And the community keeps on finding them and keeps on decoding them. So going into Black Ops 3, I'm fed up now, and I'm going to really put one in that you guys can't break. And they'll be hidden in different arenas, and you won't get this one.
So there we go, a really, really interesting video if you've not seen it before on the kind of the process of Easter eggs. And it's important that right at the end, he said there's going to be an Easter egg in Black Ops 3 Zombies, which we're never ever going to solve. Now there's been a ton of really small little Easter eggs in Shadows of Evil and the giant Shadows of Evil primarily that have been discovered over the last few weeks. As soon as like the games come out, we find some really small Easter eggs, and then as the weeks have gone on, we've found a lot more kind of weird ones like the donut Easter egg, as well as the noir Easter egg. There's just been a ton of other little things, and with Jason there, that's saying that there's going to be something in Black Ops 3 Zombies which could already be there, which we will never ever discover. Now what really intrigued me is the fact that he mentioned there are Easter eggs as far back as in World at War Zombies, which we still haven't found yet, which is not new news to us. We've known that for quite a while, but it's really interesting that even as far back as a game that was made in 2008, there are still Easter eggs in that game that we haven't found, and it's been nearly 8 years since, which is absolutely crazy. Now, doing YouTube has been really, really awesome because it's put me in an opportunity where I can be one of the guys that can get ideas and feedback from the community and send it over to the right people. Now, I've been very lucky to have met Jason Blundell twice now in person, and he's really awesome. And there's been some people that will think, oh wow, you must have met Jason, he must have told you all the secrets, you've probably played all of the DLC maps already, you probably played Shadows of Evil before it came out, and that's none of that is true whatsoever. There's nothing that he's allowed to tell us about the game which would spoil it, because it would put his job at risk, and it's just too stupid to do anyway. Why would you want to tell people what you're planning on doing in the future for something that is going to be a thing which is going to surprise millions of people around the world? Just be a bit silly. Of course, there've been questions that I've asked him which he simply can't answer because, one, like I said, it will put his job at risk, and two, just doesn't want to spoil the surprise. But there was one thing that he told us which leads in very well with this video, which hopefully with the help of you guys watching we can solve, because it doesn't make any sense to me. I can't see anything really out of the ordinary with this, but I'm sure if this gets shown to the right people, there's bound to be some people out there watching that will manage to make some sense of this. So there was one particular thing he mentioned about Easter eggs in previous games. Now, Jason Blundell doesn't have any official social media, he has no Twitter, no Facebook, nothing like that, so there's no way you can actually contact him. Now, through this, he doesn't actually monitor a lot of the stuff that goes on the internet, such as stuff on YouTube and Reddit. He normally asks people, have they found such and such Easter egg? He doesn't actually find this stuff out himself. So when he asked me and another YouTuber, Mr. Ruffle Waffles, we were both chilling out with him at Gamescom, as well as another time at the end of October, he asked us a question about an Easter egg in World at War, and we were both really confused. We had absolutely no idea what he was speaking about. Now, what I'm going to show you on screen is Call of Duty World at War. Now, back in the lifetime of the game, it was released in 2008, and there was DLC that was released in 2009, with Derice being the last one. Now, when World at War was first released, Zombies was actually hidden behind the campaign, and you had to complete the campaign in order to unlock the Zombies mode, a lot like how Nightmares mode in Black Ops 3. Originally, you had to complete the campaign, but very quickly they just unlocked it in the main menu. That's exactly what Treyarch did with Zombies. It was originally a hidden bonus mode, and then they completely unlocked it. Now, with Shino Numa and Derice, we got introduced to our 4 original characters that we've grown to love. And with Derice, they added a new thing on the menu, which was character bios. Now, these are little character bios which have information on our characters in the World at War timeline. This is pretty much their backstory from the very beginning of Zombies back in 2008. I'm not talking about the Origins version of the characters, I'm talking about the actual original version of the characters that are in World at War and Black Ops 1. Now, Jason will never full out tell anyone anything like this, but he will just give a little subtle hint, basically. And back in August, he said that the World at War bios, he simply just said, not a lot of people looked at them, have they? And that was it. And we were like, okay. And we kind of brought it up again when I saw him again in October, and this time he just said, have you found the hidden message in the World at War bios? Now, I was like, wait, what? There's a hidden message in the World at War bios? And he just kind of looked at us with a kind of, you know, that grin that you see in the trailers. Basically, he did that exact grin. He will never full out tell us what exactly it is, and that's why I'm making this video to tell you guys that we need to help figure this out. There's obviously a ton of Easter eggs in the World at War maps that we've not figured out, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 stuff, but this is not even in a map. This is like on the menus of the game, and this doesn't make any sense. As you can see on screen, I'm going through each of the bios. You can get a little bit of interesting backstory to each of the characters, because it's been such a long time. I've not even looked at these in a long time, but I can't see any real hidden message whatsoever. The only thing that sticks out is that there's different kind of blood smears on the photos of our characters. That's literally all I can see that changes between each bio. There's no hidden like kind of transparent text behind what you can see. There's literally nothing. I can't really work it out. So let me know down below in the comment section what you think of this, and let's try and find this out as a community. Hopefully this spurs a hunt for more Easter eggs in older zombie games, because that would be absolutely awesome. But we only have around about a month to wait before we get our next Black Ops 3 Zombies map, which I absolutely can't wait for. So if you enjoyed this video and it blew your mind, smash that like button and share it with your friends. I'd really appreciate that. Make sure to subscribe to keep yourself up to date with the latest Zombies information and gameplay, and I'll catch you on another video hopefully very soon.